Good morning, guys. I instead of pressing the right button, the video, I actually pressed the camera, so I had to take a quick screenshot of myself. That was absolutely funny. But this morning, I wanted to first of all wish you good morning. It is Sunday. It just so happens to be Easter, and candidly, this is almost an abomination for me because my normal routine is that I would be at church right now. I would be going to church, but one of the biggest issues that I have is that today is the day that we give license to people to actually go to church. Normally, people would not be in church, but today is that day that the churches will be flooded. There'll be chairs that are brought out because there's such a large number of people, an influx of people. But we woke up a little late, and actually I had a late day yesterday and worked a whole lot yesterday and did a whole lot of productive work. Actually did not even leave the house because I was so focused on what I was supposed to be doing. But at any rate, today is Sunday and it's Easter, and I'd like to wish you guys a happy Easter and has a happy resurrection. This is a really interesting time of year for me. April is one of my favorite months of the year. Easter is one of my favorite holidays of the year. And the thought that I have today and I wanted to share with you is that while I'm going to the gym, the thought is that I'd like for you to really make sure that you don't allow people who are important to you, maybe very, very important to you, but you don't allow those people to occupy too much real estate in your mind. And what that means is that when they have a concept or a thought or a belief pattern, don't permit them to overshadow what is your beliefs. Take consideration or pay attention to what other people are saying and doing and want. But if you have something in mind, don't be shallow. Don't be someone who allows other people to, influence you negatively or influence you in a way that allows them to take up too much real estate in your mind. If you allow this to happen, you will have regrets. You will have all kinds of negative situations that affect you, be they your friend or your enemy. Don't allow people to occupy too much space, too much real estate in your mind. And the reason that I'm saying that is not because of their influence on you and the things that you do, but the reason that I am saying that is because I had this concept of sales when I went to school, and I went all the way, as they said in Pretty Woman. I went all the way. When I went to school and got the degrees that I do have, I felt that anything that was akin or close to sales was a pejorative. And what a pejorative means is that it was something that was to be looked down on, was a bad thing. It's a one word demonstration or definition of something that is done that you don't feel good about, that you feel is a bad thing. And the word, as I said, is the word sales, and the actual act is the act of sales. And what I failed to understand in my mind, and this belief system was clouded and based on other people's perception of that word sales, but my belief was that sales was a four-letter word, or sell was a four-letter word that I should take out of what is my lexicon or the words that I would use. But sales is not a bad word. Sales is a very good word, and candidly, it's a word that as a child, as a person growing up, as a human being, something that you've been doing all of your life. This has been done not only by you, but by countless numbers of people. They sell. They try to convince people to do something. Their objective is to gain a particular advantage. So when I was a child, when I was a very, very young child, and I didn't know this because I don't have memory of it, but I know that when I wanted something, the way that I would attempt to get that thing was to sell something. And the selling at that time, the emotional outreach, or the thing that I used that was the most effective, was crying. Children today, if they want something, instead of them asking for it and trying to convince you to get it, because they don't have the words to adequately explain what they want and show the pros and cons of them getting what they want, they use temper tantrums, or they cry, or they do other kinds of things. And that's what we have been doing all of our lives. We've been selling all of our lives. We use, I guess, a formula of cost and benefit, what I will derive from it and what you will derive from giving it to me. So what I derive, for example, my bottle. I derive the thing that I've been hoping for, wishing for, and desirous of. And what you desire is quiet. You are willing to exchange value. You're willing to exchange the value of my bottle, or me being changed, or trying to find adequate lighting. But you're willing to make a logical exchange of value. My bottle for your quiet, or your peace of mind. And this is something that we've been doing all along. Again, that's a biological part of our makeup when we were a child, or when we were children. Now, the thing that I think we need to really pay attention to is that sales and people telling us that sales is a bad thing, occupying too much real estate in our mind, that is something that you should not allow to happen. You should be focused on identifying the things that you can do to allow you to achieve the success that you desire. And I will be perfectly honest with you, without any fear of retribution, or anyone coming back to in any way attempt to kind of debate this or refute what I'm saying. But selling is a very, very critical part of our makeup, and it's a critical part of our ability to achieve the results, the outcomes that we desire. So with that, don't allow people to occupy too much space in your mind and convince you that something that you know is good is bad. And number two, selling is something that you really need to learn, need to perfect, and need to do as often as you can. You need to practice that. You need to practice, warm up those muscles, and then use those muscles in the way that will allow you to achieve the objective that you wish to achieve. Any football player, any basketball player, any athlete, they have a natural talent, but beyond the natural talent, they actually do what's required. They have a trainer, they work out, they do what's required in order to achieve the outcomes that they wish to achieve. And a part of that is using the muscle. And using the muscle of sales is something that if you don't do adequately and appropriately and often, you're not going to achieve the results that you want. With that, my name is Dr. Ricky Keys, and I look forward to talking to you more often. This is something that I'm deciding that I'm going to do, because I think people need an encouraging word. There are so many negative voices that we hear, and I feel that I would like to be a positive, meaningful voice in people's lives, and allow people to hear something that is encouraging. So with that, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.